So we just got a statement from the Army Airfield, Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield. So I'm gonna read it and ask you a couple questions about this, Jack. So they confirmed 5 soldiers were shot today in that active shooter incident in the 2nd Armored Brigade combat team area. All soldiers were treated on site and moved to Wynn Army Community Hospital for further treatment. There is no active threat to the community. Law enforcement was dispatched for a possible shooting at 10:56. The shooter was apprehended at 11:35. The installation locked down at 11:04, so that would have been just 8 minutes after there were first a dispatch. And they said that the complex is still locked down. Emergency medical personnel, which I imagine, Jack, are ubiquitous around that base, were dispatched at 11:09. So within 10, 15 minutes, they were there. The incident remains under investigation. They are not expecting any new information to be released. But the good news is that there is no active threat to the community. The fact that all of this was brought together and taken care of very quickly, Jack, and that's not to diminish in any way the fact that 5 people got shot here. Does that say that all the training that you talked about, the planning for an incident like this, may well have worked and helped?
Yes, and it also, a lot of it depends on where it took place. You know, Fort Stewart's got several 100,000 acres. The main portion of the post, that includes the barracks, headquarters, the hospital, and so on, they're in a relatively small central area of Fort Stewart. If the incident took place there, it would be very quick reaction, quick evacuation to the hospital, and relatively easy to take care of. If it occurred elsewhere on the base during a field training exercise, or during normal training, typically you'll have lots and lots of troops out in the field. The majority of the troops actually will be out in the field doing some sort of training. They may be several miles away from where the central area and the hospital are located. But the fact that the threat was eliminated or reduced very quickly, and the casualties evacuated to the hospital very quickly, as you suggest, demonstrates that this kind of training, the training to deal with this sort of thing, occurs all the time and with sufficient regularity to make sure that any casualties that occur are taken care of quickly, Chris.
So we were talking to Cedric Alexander just a short time ago, and he pointed out the technology, Jack, and the fact that obviously when you have MPs on base, they're already going to know that 279,000 acres like the back of their hand, presumably cameras, lots of cameras, and lots of ability with people on base to be able to respond. When you get something as quickly as we got it here, so they got their first report dispatched for a possible shooting at 10:56, and they locked it down at 11:04. What does that tell us about the ability to very quickly assess what exactly the situation was, and how much of that do you think might be related to technology?
Well, at most military installations, there's restricted access, and the number of ways in which you can enter the post is also restricted in number, and those are guarded by military police and also hirees, external security people who are hired to augment the military police at various times. That means that it's extremely easy to close the post off at a moment's notice. And all it takes is a radio transmission to each of the posts, that is the entry places where you can come onto the base, happens almost immediately, and they can lock it down instantly. In addition to that, ever since 9/11, many military installations have erected barriers, movable barriers, automated movable barriers that prevent any entrance or egress from the post, and can do it immediately. And that's probably what happened in this case at a number of the places where you would otherwise be able to enter the post. So the place can be sealed off very, very quickly, as you saw, and the restrictions, the barriers can be removed just as quickly. So it's you're right, technology, both communications technology and the kind of technology that produces the kinds of barriers that can be erected at a moment's notice, those things figure very heavily on securing the area during situations like this, Chris.
Yeah, nobody was getting off of that base. Jack Jacobs, thank you.